Have you ever had the feeling that you're sitting on a golf ball? Or maybe a tennis ball? It's a persistent, deep, nagging discomfort right there in your perineum, that area between your scrotum and your anus. It's a feeling that makes sitting in your favorite chair, driving your car, or even enjoying a meal at a restaurant a miserable experience. It's a sensation that's hard to describe to someone who has never felt it, yet for you, it's become an unwelcome daily reality. Now, let me ask you another question. Have you found yourself standing in front of the toilet, waiting and waiting, only for the flow to be weak, hesitant, or to stop and start? But then, perhaps out of frustration or fatigue, you decide to sit down, and suddenly, the stream becomes stronger, more complete, and you feel a sense of relief you just couldn't achieve while standing. This frustrating paradox has become a part of your bathroom routine, a private struggle that adds another layer of anxiety to your day. And here's the third, and perhaps most maddening, piece of this puzzle. You've gone to the doctor, you've done the right thing, you've given the urine samples, maybe even undergone some uncomfortable prostate exams. The lab results come back, and they either show absolutely no signs of a bacterial infection, or they find such a minuscule amount of bacteria that the doctor says it couldn't possibly be the cause of your significant discomfort. Yet, the feeling of sitting on that golf ball persists. The urinary troubles continue. The deep, aching pain in your pelvis, your lower back, or even your groin doesn't go away. You're told it's non-bacterial prostatitis, or chronic pelvic pain syndrome, often abbreviated as CPPS. You're given a label, but you're left without a clear enemy to fight. You're left feeling confused, frustrated, and maybe even a little hopeless. If you've nodded your head to any or all of these questions, I want you to know one thing first and foremost. You are not alone, and you are not imagining this. The pain is real, the discomfort is valid, and the solution often lies not in another course of antibiotics that don't work, but in understanding the hidden lifestyle factors that are constantly pouring fuel on this inflammatory fire. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on this mysterious condition. We're going to count down the top 5 harmful things you might be doing every single day, completely unaware that they are making your prostatitis or CPPS symptoms worse. We'll go from number 5 down to the single most significant factor. By understanding these triggers, you can begin to take back control, reduce your pain, and start your journey toward genuine, lasting relief. Let's begin. Number 5. Insufficient pure water intake. It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? In a world of complex medical diagnoses and powerful pharmaceuticals, the idea that something as basic as water could play a crucial role in managing pelvic pain might seem trivial. But I assure you, its importance cannot be overstated. Let's break down exactly why skimping on pure, clean water is a major mistake for any man dealing with prostatic inflammation. Your urinary system is designed to be a flushing mechanism. Your kidneys filter waste products from your blood, creating urine, which is then stored in your bladder. When you urinate, this fluid travels from the bladder through the urethra, a tube that passes directly through the center of your prostate gland. Now imagine what happens when you are chronically dehydrated, even mildly. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, tries to conserve water. This means your kidneys produce a much more concentrated form of urine. This concentrated urine is darker in color and is loaded with a higher density of waste products, minerals, and acids, like uric acid. For a person with a healthy, non-inflamed urinary tract, this might not be a major issue. But for you, with a prostate that is already sensitive, inflamed, and irritated, this concentrated urine acts like a chemical irritant. Every time it sits in your bladder, it can irritate the bladder lining. And every time you urinate, this abrasive liquid flows through the delicate, swollen tissues of your prostate and urethra. It's like pouring salt on a wound, over and over again, dozens of times a day. This constant irritation can trigger pain signals, increase inflammation, and contribute to that burning sensation or discomfort you feel during or after urination. Furthermore, proper hydration helps to ensure that your blood volume is optimal, which is critical for delivering nutrients and oxygen to inflamed tissues to help them heal. Dehydration can impair this process, slowing down any potential for recovery. You might be thinking, but I drink plenty of liquids. I have coffee in the morning, a soda with lunch, and maybe a beer or a glass of iced tea in the evening. Herein lies a critical distinction. We are talking about pure water. Many of the beverages we consume are actually diuretics, meaning they cause your body to lose more fluid than they provide. Caffeine in coffee, tea, and many sodas is a well-known diuretic. Alcohol is even more so. Sugary drinks can also have an inflammatory effect, which we will discuss in greater detail later on. So, what's the solution? It's straightforward. Make pure water your primary beverage. How much is enough? A common guideline is 8 glasses a day, but a better, more personalized method is the urine color test. Your urine should consistently be a pale, light yellow color. If it's dark yellow or has a strong odor, you are not drinking enough water. Don't try to chug it all at once. Sip water steadily throughout the entire day. Keep a reusable water bottle on your desk, in your car, and with you when you're out. Think of each sip as a way of diluting those irritants, soothing your urinary tract, and giving your prostate a calmer, healthier environment. It is the foundational first step in calming the storm inside your pelvis. Don't underestimate its power. Number 4, constant stress. We live in a high-stress world. Deadlines, financial pressures, family responsibilities, the constant barrage of news, it all takes a toll. Most men are taught to tough it out, to internalize stress and just keep moving forward. We feel that stress in our shoulders, as a tension headache, or as a knot in our stomach. But what most men with CPPS don't realize is that they are holding that stress in a place they've likely never even thought about, their pelvic floor. Let's talk about the anatomy for a moment. The pelvic floor is a complex sling or hammock of muscles, ligaments, and connective tissues that stretches from your pubic bone in the front to your tailbone in the back. It supports your bladder, your rectum, and your prostate. It plays a key role in urinary control, bowel function, and sexual function. When your brain perceives a threat, be it a real physical danger or a psychological stressor like an angry boss, it triggers the fight or flight response. Your adrenal glands flood your system with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, and your muscles tense up, ready for action. You know the feeling of clenching your jaw when you're anxious, or your shoulders rising up toward your ears? The exact same involuntary tensing happens in your pelvic floor muscles. For a man with a predisposition to pelvic pain or who is already experiencing it, this isn't a temporary reaction. The pelvic floor can become chronically, unconsciously clenched. Think of it like making a fist. You can clench your fist tightly for a few seconds without a problem. But what if you kept it clenched for hours, for days, for weeks? Eventually, the muscles in your hand and forearm would start to ache, burn, and scream in protest. Blood flow would be restricted, waste products like lactic acid would build up, and the nerves in the area would become irritated. This is precisely what is happening inside your pelvis. A chronically tight or hypertonic pelvic floor creates a cascade of problems. It restricts blood flow. Just like the clenched fist, tight muscles squeeze the blood vessels, reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrients to the prostate and surrounding tissues, which hinders healing. It chokes the nerves. Major nerves, like the pudendal nerve, run through this muscular landscape. When the muscles are tight, they can compress or entrap these nerves, leading to sharp, shooting or burning pain, numbness, and that classic golf ball sensation. It creates trigger points. These are small, hyper-irritable knots in the muscle tissue that can refer pain to other areas. A trigger point in your pelvic floor might cause pain in your lower back, the tip of your penis, your testicles, or your inner thigh. It affects function. A tight pelvic floor can interfere with the coordinated muscle movements needed for urination, leading to that hesitancy, weak stream, and feeling of incomplete emptying. Managing this requires a conscious effort to calm your nervous system. This isn't about manning up, it's about being smart. Techniques like diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing are incredibly powerful. When you breathe deep into your belly, your diaphragm lowers, which in turn encourages your pelvic floor to relax and release. Simple mindfulness practices, meditation, or spending quiet time in nature can help lower your baseline cortisol levels. Gentle stretching, like yoga or tai chi, can help release physical tension. Stress isn't just in your head, it has a profound physical manifestation in your body. For men with prostatitis and CPPS, the epicenter of that physical manifestation is often the pelvic floor. Learning to release that tension is not a luxury, it is an absolute necessity for recovery. Number 3, spicy and acidic foods. This point connects back to our discussion on hydration, but it focuses on the quality of what you're consuming, not just the quantity of water. Many of us love a good, flavorful meal, a spicy curry, a pizza with rich tomato sauce, a glass of orange juice with breakfast, a cup of coffee to get the day started. Unfortunately, for a man with an inflamed prostate, many of these flavorful favorites can be significant sources of irritation. The mechanism is similar to that of concentrated urine, but it's compounded by specific chemical compounds found in these foods and drinks. When you digest food, its components are broken down, and eventually, waste products are filtered by the kidneys and excreted into the urine. If the food you ate contains substances that are known irritants to the urinary tract, your urine essentially becomes a vehicle for delivering these irritants directly to your inflamed prostate and bladder. Let's get specific. Spicy foods. The primary culprit here is capsaicin, the compound that gives chili peppers their heat. While capsaicin has some health benefits in other contexts, for the urinary tract, it can be highly inflammatory. When excreted, it can cause a burning sensation and a significant flare-up of symptoms. This includes not just hot peppers, but also hot sauces, spicy curries, chili powder, and anything with a significant kick. Acidic foods and drinks. This is a very broad and important category. The body maintains a very stable pH in the blood, but the foods you eat can dramatically affect the acidity of your urine. Highly acidic urine can be extremely irritating to the sensitive lining of the bladder. A condition known as interstitial cystitis is closely related to this, and the urethra. The main offenders include tomatoes. This is a big one for many men. Tomato sauce, ketchup, salsa, and even fresh tomatoes can be major triggers due to their high acidity. Citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruit, lemons, and limes, along with their juices, are highly acidic. Vinegar, found in salad dressings, pickles, and many condiments. Coffee. Both caffeinated and decaffeinated coffee are highly acidic. The caffeine also acts as a bladder stimulant and diuretic, making it a triple threat. Carbonated drinks. Most sodas are highly acidic, not to mention being loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners, which can also be problematic. Alcohol. Certain types of alcohol, like wine, can be quite acidic. Alcohol in general is dehydrating and inflammatory. The key to navigating this is to become a detective of your own body. What triggers a flare-up for one man might be perfectly fine for another. The best way to figure out your personal triggers is to try an elimination diet for a few weeks. Cut out all of the common culprits mentioned above. Stick to a simple, bland, whole foods diet and drink only water. After a few weeks, if you notice an improvement in your symptoms, you can start to reintroduce one food item at a time, every 3 to 4 days. Have a small amount of tomato sauce one day. See how you feel over the next 48 hours. If there's no reaction, that food might be safe for you in moderation. Then, a few days later, try a cup of coffee. If your symptoms flare up, you've identified a trigger. Keeping a simple food and symptom diary can be an invaluable tool in this process. It's a bit of work up front, but the knowledge you gain is empowering. It allows you to make informed choices that calm your system down instead of constantly, unknowingly aggravating it. Flavor doesn't have to mean pain. It's about finding the flavors that work for you. Number 2, a sedentary lifestyle and prolonged sitting. In our modern world, sitting has become the default posture. We sit to eat, we sit to work at a desk, we sit to drive our cars, and we sit to relax and watch television in the evening. For the general population, this sedentary lifestyle is linked to a host of health problems. But for a man with prostatitis or CPPS, prolonged sitting is not just a passive health risk, it is an active and direct assault on the pelvic region. The problem with sitting is twofold. It involves direct physical compression and it promotes muscular imbalance and weakness. Let's first talk about direct compression. When you sit, especially on a hard surface or with poor posture, a significant portion of your body weight is concentrated on your two sit bones, the ischial tuberosities. The area between these bones is the perineum, which is exactly where your prostate gland and the sensitive muscles of the pelvic floor are located. Hours of sitting puts direct, sustained pressure on the prostate itself. This pressure can exacerbate existing inflammation and impede blood flow, which, as we've discussed, is essential for healing. This compression also directly impacts the muscles and nerves of the pelvic floor. It can worsen the tension we talked about in the context of stress, and it can directly irritate the pudendal nerve, contributing to that golf ball pain and other neurological symptoms. Think about how uncomfortable it is to sit on your wallet for a long drive. Now imagine that pressure being applied constantly to one of the most nerve-rich and sensitive areas of your body. The second part of the problem is muscular imbalance. The human body is designed for movement. When you sit for extended periods, your body adapts to that position in unhealthy ways. Your hip flexor muscles at the front of your hips become short and tight. Your gluteal muscles, your butt muscles, become weak and inactive. Your core muscles can disengage. This creates a dysfunctional pattern throughout your entire pelvic girdle. The tension in the front from tight hip flexors pulls your pelvis out of its optimal alignment. The weakness in your glutes and core means that the small, delicate muscles of your pelvic floor are forced to overwork and compensate to provide stability. They become fatigued, tight, and painful. They weren't designed to do the job of your large gluteal muscles. This widespread imbalance creates a perfect storm for chronic pelvic tension and pain. So, what is the antidote to sitting? It's movement. It's about breaking the cycle of prolonged stillness. The 30-minute rule: set a timer on your phone or computer. For every 30 minutes you sit, get up and stand or walk around for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Just this simple act can make a world of difference. Improve your seating. If you must sit for work, invest in a supportive ergonomic chair. More importantly, consider a specialized cushion. Coccyx cushions, which have a cutout for the tailbone, or U-shaped prostate cushions, are designed to relieve direct pressure on the perineum. This is a simple, passive intervention that can provide significant relief. Incorporate movement. A daily walk is one of the best exercises you can do. It's low impact, promotes blood flow to the pelvis, and helps to counteract the effects of sitting. Targeted stretching. Incorporate simple stretches to open up the hips and release tension. Stretches like the pigeon pose, child's pose, or a simple knees to chest stretch can help lengthen those tight hip flexors and relax the pelvic floor. Your job or lifestyle might require you to sit, but it doesn't have to be a prison sentence for your pelvis. By consciously breaking up your sitting time, improving your seating surface, and reintroducing gentle movement and stretching, you can take a huge amount of pressure off this vulnerable area and give your body a chance to heal. Number 1, the consumption of pro-inflammatory foods. We have arrived at the number 1 factor, and it is arguably the most powerful and pervasive of them all. This goes beyond the immediate irritation from spicy or acidic foods. We are talking about the promotion of systemic, body-wide inflammation, and your diet is the primary driver of this state. Prostatitis has the suffix itis, which literally means inflammation. You are dealing with an inflammatory condition. Therefore, the single most logical and effective long-term strategy is to stop consuming things that create inflammation and to start consuming things that fight it. You cannot expect to calm a fire while simultaneously dousing it with gasoline. Our modern Western diet is, unfortunately, overwhelmingly pro-inflammatory. It's rich in foods that trigger an inflammatory response from our immune system. This chronic, low-grade inflammation might not cause immediate symptoms like a spicy pepper does, but it creates a hostile internal environment where conditions like prostatitis and CPPS can thrive and persist. It keeps your body in a constant state of high alert, making your sensitive prostate and pelvic region even more susceptible to pain and dysfunction. Let's name the primary villains in this pro-inflammatory diet: processed sugars and refined carbohydrates. This is enemy number 1. When you consume sugary drinks, candy, pastries, white bread, white pasta, and other refined grains, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. This leads to a surge in the hormone insulin and the production of inflammatory messengers called cytokines. It also leads to the formation of harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, aptly abbreviated as AGEs, which are highly inflammatory and damaging to tissues throughout the body. Unhealthy fats. There's a crucial difference between fats. Trans fats, found in many fried foods, baked goods, and processed snacks, are pure poison for your system and directly promote inflammation. An excess of omega-6 fatty acids, found in common vegetable oils like corn, soybean, safflower, and sunflower oil, also pushes the body towards an inflammatory state. While we need some omega-6, our modern diet provides a massively skewed ratio of omega-6 to anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. Processed and red meats, sausages, bacon, hot dogs, and deli meats are often high in saturated fats and preservatives like nitrates, which can drive inflammation. Overconsumption of red meat has also been linked to higher levels of inflammatory markers. Dairy and gluten, for some. For a significant portion of the population, proteins in dairy, casein, and wheat, gluten, can be difficult to digest and can trigger an immune response, leading to inflammation. This is highly individual, but if you suffer from chronic inflammation, it is worth considering an elimination trial for these food groups. The solution is to consciously shift your eating habits towards an anti-inflammatory diet. This isn't a temporary diet, it's a permanent lifestyle upgrade. It means focusing on real, whole, unprocessed foods. Flood your body with omega-3s. These are powerful anti-inflammatory fats. Find them in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, as well as in flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. Eat the rainbow. Fruits and vegetables are packed with antioxidants and phytonutrients that actively combat inflammation. Focus on dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, and colorful berries like blueberries and raspberries. Use healthy fats. Make extra virgin olive oil your primary oil. Avocados and nuts are also excellent sources of healthy monounsaturated fats. Choose quality protein. Opt for lean poultry, fatty fish, and plant-based proteins like lentils and beans. Spice it up, wisely. While hot peppers may be out, other herbs and spices are powerfully anti-inflammatory. Turmeric, with black pepper to increase absorption, ginger and garlic are all fantastic additions to your diet. Changing your diet is the single most impactful thing you can do to change your body's internal environment from one that promotes inflammation to one that fights it. It is the foundation upon which all other healing is built. It addresses the root cause of the itis in prostatitis and gives your body the tools it needs to finally calm down and heal. So, there you have it. The top 5 hidden culprits that could be aggravating your prostatitis and chronic pelvic pain. We've talked about the crucial importance of proper hydration with pure water. We've uncovered how invisible stress translates into very real physical tension in your pelvic floor. We've seen how certain foods, both spicy and acidic, can act as direct irritants. We've addressed the immense physical strain caused by our modern sedentary lifestyle. And finally, we've tackled the #1 issue, the systemic fire of inflammation stoked by a poor diet. Notice a theme here? All 5 of these factors are within your power to change. They are not about a mysterious disease that happens to you. They are about lifestyle choices that you can begin to make starting today. This journey to recovery can feel slow and frustrating at times. This channel is just starting out, and we are dedicated to providing you with clear, honest, and actionable information to help you navigate this difficult condition. If you found this video helpful, if it resonated with you and gave you a glimmer of hope or a new direction to explore, the single best way you can support our work and help us reach more men like you is to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your subscription is the greatest thank you you can give, and it helps us build a community of support. Most importantly, I want to leave you with this thought. Do not give up. You have been living with this discomfort for a long time, and it has likely taken a toll on your spirit. But you are not powerless. This is a journey, not a race. Be patient with yourself. Listen to your body. Experiment with these changes and find what works for you. Your path to feeling better is unique to you, but it begins with knowledge and the courage to take that first step. Thank you for your time and your trust. Take care of yourself and keep fighting for your health.